Well, hello.
Oh, hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, I just realized that I don't have the intro on here. That was, in fact, the outro.
I realized laughing at that. I'm like,
Darn it. Next week I'll have the intro on here. But anyway, welcome to the MNSpiritCast. Hope everybody is doing great and everybody has had a great start of the new year. It is 2024 and it's our New Year's special. And what better way to celebrate with some awesome people? Here is one of our tech people. This is Johnny Vortex. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Happy New
Glad
Year.
to be here. It's always Happy New Year to you.
yeah.
There you go. Oh, sure. Okay.
All right.
Definitely.
And let's not keep her waiting all the way from the state of Virginia. Here is Shasta Myers. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it
Happy New
going?
Year. How's it going?
It's going good.
So how's the year been treating you so far? My year has been great because I haven't bought anything on Amazon in all year.
I've listened to you. I can't say the same thing.
Oh, really?
Well, I haven't bought on Amazon, but I just stopped by the mall on the way into the house today. So it's the first day of the year, and I've already hit the mall.
My only purchase this year has been a bag of chips.
No, we found a nice boba tea shop and had to stop by the boba
There
tea.
you go.
That's the
There
downside
you
of
go.
having a 10-year-old who thinks she's a teenager.
Yeah. Well, everybody, I hope you guys are having a great start of the new year. It's 2024, and we hope this year brings everybody greatness and a lot more positivity than 2023 did, especially within your paranormal investigations and podcasts and everything like that. So we hope everybody, makes light of the new year and overcomes the things they experienced last year and just makes it 10 times better this year. So we are talking about the state of Virginia, which is far east of the United States. How's it going over there in Virginia? What's the weather like right now?
We are so bipolar, it's not even funny. We don't know.
Same here.
We're the kind of state, we never put away a wardrobe. You keep your wardrobes out 24/7, because you can sleep in the morning and it's going to be like 30 degrees. By noon, you're hitting 65.
Yeah.
And by bedtime, it's snowing out. So you never really know what you're getting.
Right.
Right now, it's pretty chilly out there. I think we're probably sitting in the 40s. I think for Christmas, we were in the 60s.
That sounds pretty good up here.
Yeah,
Right?
this weekend
we like that here.
See, I don't know, it's crazy. And then this weekend they're calling for like this snowstorm to come in, and it's supposed to be the most snow we've had in like the last 5 years. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it.
As I had mentioned backstage earlier, that if anybody who lived here in Minnesota would like to visit Florida, or anybody outside of Minnesota would like to visit Florida, just come to Minnesota. Because this year we're having Florida. So, there's mixed weather and just temper tantrums here. So, I'm going to hand the floor over to Casey and I'm going to hand the floor over to Casey and Johnny for a few minutes here because I have to run an errand quick, but I'll be right back. So, I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, that's our weather too. I mean, our weather is, we never know what we're going to get. We just, you get up and you look outside and you see what you've got out there, and then you just plan accordingly and make sure you've got an umbrella and a coat in the car all the time. Yeah, we don't even own an umbrella.
You refused to buy me one after I broke the other one.
Yeah, I told my daughter, you're not getting another umbrella. You broke that one. That's the one for the year. We might get another one for 2024. If you break it, we're not getting another one.
That was like 4 years ago. I owned an umbrella like 4 years ago, and you never got me.
She's gonna tattle on me now.
She's definitely got the 11-teen going on.
That's
for sure. Yeah.
Well, she's my youngest of 3, so and my only girl, and my others are grown and gone.
One of them's.
But yeah, she's definitely she's spoiled, but she's my travel buddy and she's my paranormal buddy. She's very much into the paranormal, very very gifted since she was little. And I've had her around. A lot of our friends are psychic mediums. We've had a few gypsies that are friends of ours. And I've been told that she's had many lives before and that she's a healer. And she's done some really strange things over the years. That's kind of freaked me out as well as fascinated me.
Yeah.
So, she investigates with us ever since she's been 3-4 years old. She's going in and out of buildings and doing that kind of thing. She's been in films. She's done a documentary. She's done a documentary when she was like 3.5. So she's been in and out of haunted buildings here in Virginia for quite some time. So
I'm kind of disappointed to hear the weather's so bad because January, February, I try to find people to go investigating with that are down south where it's not where the outside isn't trying to kill you.
See, and that's the
sounds
thing.
Like that's not going to happen this year.
Well, I don't. Where exactly are you? Are you in Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah. See now. Well, maybe a little further south than Virginia. North Carolina's not as bad. The problem is when you get to where we are, our weather's kind of funny. We are right on that line of. Yeah. We don't really get a lot of snow. We get a lot of ice. So it's not cold enough for snow, but it's cold enough to be like a freezing rain and a mix. And that's even worse than the snow.
Yeah.
The Ecto would not like it down there in the in ice. It does not drive well.
No. We all have like 4-wheel drives, but there again, it doesn't go on the ice. So yeah, pretty much like January, February into March. We don't do a lot here. Unless we go further south. Now, that's when we start going Florida. That's what I was saying earlier. If you're going to Florida, it depends on when you go. This is the time of year it's good to go to the Florida and start looking into Florida and visiting there to investigate.
Yeah.
Because it's nice weather there. It's like, 70s? We just got back from New Orleans and Houston back the first week in the month of December. And it was gorgeous. Like it was in the low 60s, upper 50s. It was so nice outside. I mean, we got out, we walked the street, we went to some cemeteries. Yeah. Beautiful weather. Saw Nicolas Cage. Then we came back here.
Yeah, this time of year, it's all about those indoor, like residential investigations. They're like, oh, you live in the home and it's okay. It's heated. Then we got it. No problem.
Exactly.
We'll stay there all night. That's fine.
Yeah, that's why you stay
them cemeteries and abandoned homes. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, okay, hold on. We're going to pencil you in, but you're going to be in the fall or the winter because you have heat. Yeah. We're going to do the other ones. But then around here, I don't know how it is there, but around here, we have to watch in the summertime. We have to watch our outdoor stuff because of snakes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of like critters y'all have out there, but
it's not warm long enough for there to be anything deadly up here.
Oh, yes. We
so it's just the mosquitoes will pick you up and carry you away. But
we
have about it.
We have snakes. We have bears. We have like, we've got spiders. Our spiders aren't that bad though. I mean, they're pretty good size, but they're not really poisonous.
Yeah, it depends on the spider, really.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple that are not great, but I mean, we have like coffee can size. What are they called? They're not brown recluse. They're just like a wood spider. Wolf spiders. That's what they're called. But they're like the size of the top of a coffee can.
They're just really gnarly looking.
Yeah, they're
harmless.
Huge. They're all coming inside because it's getting cold outside.
So, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them in.
Yeah, if they're cold, they come in. They're dead. I don't do no. But in the springtime here, because they know me like over on our channel when we do our shows. I'm always the one that has some kind of malfunction. I fall in creeks when we go on investigating.
Never forget.
Yeah, it never fails. Something, if anything
Never
is going to
forget Creek
happen,
Shasta.
it's going to happen to me. Like
Hashtag
I've went on
Creek Shasta.
investigations. I fell in a creek.
We weren't even on an investigation. It was
all
just
kinds
for
of things.
watercress.
So we have, like, going outside, we have big bears that come through our front yard. When I say big, I'm talking like 300, 350, 400-pound bear. And there's 3 of them out there. So they just kind of like mosey through the front yard. And one of them likes to lean up and look through the front window into the house. And I'm like, listen, dude.
Window shopping.
Yes, boo-boo. We are not feeding you. You need to go on somewhere else. Don't eat my goats and just keep walking. So yeah, we've got a different mixture of things down here that we have to look out for. So even though it's seasonal on investigating, we still have to be careful when we go investigating, because we still have all these weird things we've got to look out for. It's not just the paranormal; it's like the abnormal.
The corporeal is the problem in this case.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get the ghost, you're going to get it. You never know. You might get a rabid raccoon or Boo Boo
You're
the
going to get
bear.
scratched either way, I guess.
No, right?
Yeah.
So what about up your way? What all is there up there to investigate? What's your favorite places in the area to investigate?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it's just us two now, apparently. So I'll answer that one. I grew up in Pine City, Minnesota, which is where the Pokegama Insane Asylum is. If you've heard of that one.
No, but I love insane asylums.
It was on like Ghost Hunters International. It kind of became a hot spot for the pros, the like folks with TV shows for a while.
Yes.
So that's always a big one. I've been trying to make friends with the folks up at Glensheen Mansion up in Duluth. They have never let anyone up in there for investigating, just regular tours. Much like Virginia, it's a lot of woods and a lot of old woods out here. So
exactly,
there's a ton of abandoned buildings and just old trapper homes and stuff out here that are great to run around in. I really wish I could get into the St. Paul tunnels. That would be amazing.
Ooh. See, that interests me. Between a good abandoned asylum or hospital and cemeteries. I'm a big cemetery nut. I love a cemetery.
The state here isn't as old as Virginia. It only ratified mid 1800s. So there's not a whole lot of like 18th century stuff out here. But finding like an 18th century cemetery or something out in the middle of nothing. I know in Michigan there's a few that are, you're just walking through the woods and all of a sudden there's headstones. Now I've yet to find anything. I'm sure there's going to be 5 or 6 active groups in Minnesota. So I think I should reach out to them and be like, okay, what's the local haunt?
Oh, yeah. We have several. I've been doing this for, so long. When I first started out, it's really weird because when I first started out, I saw TV and I was like, I'm absolutely fascinated with paranormal investigating. If they can do it on TV, I can do it. And there was, I guess, I don't know if everybody, because I'm kind of old. And my daughter's looking at me. I'm kind of old, so that makes her older. There was Meetup. So I looked on there, and I'm like, okay, so there's other people that is, into this. So I found a Meetup group, and I'm like, okay, so we'll go out and we'll try it out and we'll see what's going on. So I'm like, I'm not going by myself. I'm gonna take somebody with me. Oh, yeah. And I took a friend of mine and she's like, after the first meeting, she's like, this is not for me. I am never going back. But after I went the first time, I was comfortable enough that I could go by myself. So I was fine. I'm okay. You know what? I'll go back again. So it was 5, 6 of us on a team. I met a really, really gifted psychic that was on there. And I never really believed in that stuff. But my first experiences with the paranormal were in Mexico years ago. And I never believed that paranormal existed. I was always, you're going to have to show me in order for me to believe it. Well, we went to this hacienda in Mexico, and there was these gorgeous rooms. The kitchen had these like 10-foot, 12-foot ceilings, and they had paintings like actually painted onto the walls. And they're starting to chip a little bit. And we went into the sitting room, and then we went into the bedroom. And immediately, it's July in Mexico in the middle of the desert. You know, it's hot. It's like 102 outside. The temperature bottomed out. I'm shivering. You could feel like somebody watching you, but I could see everybody in the room. But you know how you get that look? You know there's somebody looking at you. You just can't place who it is. Like there's something weird going on in here.
Mommy, can I have a bit of the cake? Not yet.
Yeah, in just a little bit. So it was just the weirdest feeling. So that kind of piqued my interest. Down there, they still really believe in like the Santa Rita and witches and, you know, people doing bad juju on you. So we had went to a graveyard across the street, and we were looking because they had like a flash flood, and it had washed some of the tombstones and the graves up, and they had to rebury some people. It's like dead quiet, no breeze. My sister-in-law's walking next to me, and we walk up beside a kid's stone, like a, you know, they build above the ground, and they have like the houses, just like in New Orleans. And it's got a metal gate, and there's a bell on the gate. There's no breeze. She's on one side, I'm on the other. And all of a sudden, this bell starts dinging. Just ding, 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 ding. She looks at me. I look at her. I don't speak Spanish. She don't speak English. But whatever she said to me, we both got the heck up out of Dodge. I'm thinking, that is the scariest thing. So that just kind of piqued it and fueled it for me more. So when I started with these meetup group, I was like, yeah, and you know what? Let's do it. So we started investigating, and there's a place here in Bedford, Virginia, which is about half an hour, 45 minutes from me. And it's the only house that survived, I want to say, the Civil War. It's around Appomattox where they fought the war. It's the only house that survived without any damage. And that house was a training ground. Yes. It's like a training ground. They have an upstairs area, and there's a porch, and they have an alarm on the door. And they have a door that goes from this bedroom out into that porch. So we're all sitting in there one night, and you can see shadows walking outside back and forth underneath the door. But there's nobody out there, because if you heard somebody go out, you'd hear that door open. Because the alarms would set off, because their railings are really short. Because back in the day, they weren't really thinking safety. So there's no footsteps coming from outside. You see these footprints or shadows go by the door. So we used to use that as a training ground for us. And we're down there 2 or 3 times a week. Most active place. Now the board of directors won't let us in. I guess they're kind of afraid of what everybody was finding, because there's a lot of people that were using that as a training ground. But yeah, we would see full body apparition one night stand up in the bathroom.
Wow.
You know, it was female. You could see the outline of the body. But
I was gonna say that'd be my luck, right?
Yeah.
I'd have my first full-bodied apparition would be taking a leak, you know. Like,
she was in the bathroom. I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I'm the only one can see it, and I'm relatively new at this group. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. There's 2 other people in the room with me. I'm not going to say anything to them because they're going to think I'm nuts.
Right.
So I'm looking at it, and it goes back into the floor. It kind of dissipates into the floor. The third time it comes up, luckily we had cameras running that night. There's a gentleman like over in a couple of rooms over, and he sees a shadow in the camera on the left side of the screen. And what I'm watching was standing up, or on the left side of the mirror. What I'm watching was standing up on the right side of the sink, which would have been the left side of the mirror that he was looking at. So he radios in and he says, "Is there somebody moving in the bathroom?" And the guy at the door says, "No, there's nobody moving in here at all." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, actually there is." Like 3 times this thing had come out of the floor and just dissipated back into the floor. Later that evening, this guy went in there. You know, it's the only working bathroom in the house. He went to go take a leak in the bathroom. He didn't make it. He got his pants down and ran out the house and never came back again. Yeah, needless to say,
that's great.
Somebody was talking to him and said something to him while he went to the bathroom and scared him so bad he ran right out the house.
Depends what they said, right?
I was like, well, I mean, I don't know what she was commenting on, but maybe she didn't like whatever he was doing. I don't know. But he never came back to investigate with us again. Guess that might
You're
be
like
a little
sitting there trying to focus, and you just hear, "There's no toilet paper." And you're like, "God damn it!"
Right?
That would be funny.
You're trying to do your business, and some woman's whispering in your ear, and you look around, and there's no woman with you.
I tell you, if I get the chance to haunt somebody, the only time I'm ever going to appear as an apparition, I'm going to be sitting on the toilet making direct eye contact with whoever's
Exactly,
in there.
Right? Virginia has tons of
my angles.
We have a lot of really neat places that, for reasons unknown, you know, they like to shut away from us. Like, that's a really cool place that, you know, the board of directors, once they hear about it, they're like, no, we can't do this anymore.
It's the worst.
You know, we have another, like right in town, we have a hotel, and the hotel is reported to be haunted. Very creepy, very strange vibes in the hotel. My husband actually remodeled it. They turned it into apartments, and they were going to let us in. And then they said, no, we can't do that, because if we do and they find out, and if you find anything, then people are not going to want to rent from us.
Right.
So they won't let us in.
Yeah.
And they were condos, like 1 bedroom, what do they call them? They're like 1 bedroom or studio apartments or whatever.
Studio, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that just kicked off a whole run for me. Like we went on to Gettysburg, which was absolutely fascinating. The energy in that place that's probably the only place I've ever been really spooked, was Gettysburg. Yeah, Gettysburg was amazing. Virginia, we have another location here called St. Albans. That's been on a lot of the TV shows. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I have.
Super,
I've heard of it, yeah.
Super haunted.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of, if you ever get the opportunity, that is one of the most fascinating locations. I've never been in it that there has not been something, had things thrown at me. I mean, literally, we were sitting there one night, and one of the gentlemen that used to investigate with me fell asleep. How do you fall asleep in an investigation? He dropped his recorder. Well, he was so comfortable, but he also worked 12-hour days, and he had come from work, and he dropped his recorder, and we all started giggling, and all of us ladies were laughing at him. And the next thing we know, we could see the ambient light coming in from outside, and I see this rock come hurling through the air past me. But the funny thing was, it wasn't thrown from above. You could see it come sideways. And it flew and hit the ground and flew up and hit a girl in the foot. And right then she just stopped. And we're like, okay, then we're laughing. This is serious. And we found out that it happened to another group, that they had also had a rock thrown at them in the same location, in Alcoholics.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it stays pretty active.
Hmm. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So basically, have you talked about your team and everything yet, or no?
We were talking about a couple of the locations. Not really the team, just how I got started. The team came
Sure.
because I was with another team, and we had some disagreements, and I decided to take a step back from the team. I think it was mutual.
Yeah.
So I decided, I did this once before on my own. I can do it without a team again on my own. Because
Hmm.
I ain't doing drama. Let's put it that way. I don't do
Yeah, we
drama.
don't
Right.
do
Right.
And that
The only
team
way to
was
be.
completely drama. So, and this was after I helped start the group, name the group, and then was told, you do nothing to help me with the group. And I was like, oh, okay, really? So I took a step back and I said, you know what? If that's the way you feel, fine, do it yourself. I don't need it.
Speaking from experience, I think right now I have a fantastic team of paranormal investigators. However, being a founder, you hear so many things that you wish you didn't. Uh, there's a lot of unappreciative people that join these teams, and they're in it for the wrong reasons, and they think they can do so much better. And
No.
if you don't like the way things are ran, I'm sorry. It's my team. I'll run it how I want. So your case, right there, you helped name it. You did all of that. They should have been grateful, but if they wasn't, too bad.
It was a money thing. It was a money
Oh,
thing for them.
that's a big
and
issue
a
with a lot of
power
people.
trip thing.
No.
And then when I called out the power trip thing, I'm like, listen, if that's the way you think and you're the only one that's doing it, then why am I even bothering? What's the point? I mean, if you think that this is the only person that's doing anything for you, then, I'm the only one that's been with you since day one. Where was this person day one?
Yeah.
They weren't
Mhm.
here. So if you think that you can do it better, then do it. I mean, I don't have any ill will to them. They still have a team right now. They're doing what they do, and more power to them. Just wipe it off with one of the wipes. More power to them. I hope them all the best, but that's not the direction that I want to go in. It's
Exactly.
it's not a business to me, and that's what it became, was a business. And paranormal for me is not a business. It's
Right.
a way to connect. It's a way to help.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, and it's not a way for me to make money. I'm not going to make my life more. How am I trying to say this? I'm not going to make a fortune off of paranormal investigating. And I'm not going to spend all of my money and my time on paranormal investigating to the point where all it does is consume me. Does that make sense? And that's what it became. It became more of work, and it had lost its fun. And that hurt. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll just go away. That's when I met up with John. John and I have been together since we were basically born. I'm a little older than him. We're cousins. But he showed an interest in it. So we decided, hey, if you want to do it, let's just do it. Right. So we started our own group together. And I'm like, it's not going to take a lot. We'll get out there. We'll, slowly build some equipment. We'll start investigating. We'll find some spots. We'll go here. We'll go there. We'll get our name out there. We'll do it because we love it. And then we'll enjoy it because we've worked for it.
Yes.
Not because we have to do it, because we want to. And then along the way, we've helped people. I've got a really good friend of mine that's a minister. And when we have issues where we need to have house blessings and things of that nature, we have somebody we can call on. And we've had to do that. We've had personal cases where we've had to have a gentleman come in and bless the house. So we're prepared to do that. And that's kind of how we got started. So he handles things in North Carolina. And since I live in Virginia, if we have things here, I handle things in Virginia. We travel back and forth if we've got big cases that come up.
Right.
We try to once a year do something pretty big, whether it be in North Carolina or, maybe something here in Virginia. We try to do a big group and set up something so that we can get multiple groups. Was it last year? Maybe the year before. I mean, we had a lot of different groups come in. I want to say we had EX, was it? And Patty from the G team.
Yeah.
And Mason.
Matt, all of them.
Yeah, we had a lot of
USS
people.
North Carolina.
Yeah, we had everybody come into the battleship in North Carolina. And we even had a friend of ours who's now in the group, Tracy from Missouri, that came in. And we all just got in. Yeah, she flew in and we all just did the battleship, which we want to do again this year. We want to pick a spot and invite a bunch of groups out just to come in and have a big, a big investigation somewhere.
Well, let us know. And if it's, in good timing, I'd like to join you.
Well, we're thinking about doing either the battleship again, or we're thinking about doing Missouri State Penitentiary, which is another one that or not Missouri State, but Brushy State.
Well, Brushy Mountain.
That's it. Brushy
in
Mountain.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna throw this out there. In March, we have a school in Illinois, and I have 3 tickets up for grabs right now. So if you want to join us, you still got a couple months to ponder on it. It's, and that goes for anybody. It's $50 a ticket, and you get an all-night investigation, potluck, everything.
I would love to. What time in March?
March 16th. And it's going to be an all-night deal. What's that?
I said my daughter's looking at me. I've already gotten my marching orders for March. March is my daughter's birthday. My mother's birthday, my daughter's birthday. We have to go back to Disney.
We'll make something work. We'll get with you eventually.
Well, I mean, we're looking at something in April and May. I'm looking, next year should be more open for me to be able to travel.
Same here, yeah. 2025 is going to be a whole lot better for traveling, bigger investigations. Actually, I don't know if anybody here knew, except for you, Shasta, we're putting on a Paracon ourselves in 2025. So I don't know if anybody knows, but on our show, our Iowa episode, we talked a little bit about Spirits of the Corn Paracon. It's going to be hosted by Minnesota Spirit Hunters. So it'll be a collaboration of Minnesota Spirit Hunters, Candy Slater's team. I don't remember what it was called. Oh, From the Ashes and Crossover Paranormal. So it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I've got some big ideas. That's one. I've networked with a lot of people over the years. Like I said, I've been doing this. My middle son he'll be 20 in about 3 weeks, or 21 in about 3 weeks. Sorry. And I've been doing this.
Oh, you got adulthood coming.
Yeah. Well, I've got one son that's 28, and then my other son is 20. He'll be 21 weeks, and then my daughter is 10. So I've been doing this since my middle son was about 4 years old.
Wow.
So I've been investigating for going on 17 years or so, 17, something like that.
Nice.
And I did it for the longest time by myself. I would just, wherever we would go, I would, if we went on a vacation, I would take some time off to look at the location we were in, and I would pick something from that location. So I've been able to investigate from Gettysburg all the way to Waverly Hills in Kentucky to the St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida, and everything in between. Yeah, that's it's just because we've been able to travel, and I've been blessed with the fact that when we've stopped along, I've carved out a little bit of time. A lot of it's been public tours, 3 or 4 hour nighttime public tour where they take 20 or 30 people. But you would believe the type of stuff you get even on those open public tours.
Right.
You get a lot of stuff. So that's my thing. In 2024, I want to get more investigations. I think my traveling is going to open up a lot more. I hope 2025 we want to start hosting, like with that Paracon we've got going on.
Yeah. Iowa. Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some of the contacts. Maybe we can get some really good people, contacts that we all have, and get some good people up there for speakers.
See, our main thing right now is going to be the venue, because we still have yet to find a venue. But back in May we went to the Victorian View venue. It's a bridal shop, wedding venue, things like that. Holy moly, there was never so many wedding dresses in one of our investigations. There was a corn maze of wedding dresses. It was and see, one of the things that I seem to have figured out is I think there were children spirits there. I think those children like to play in between those wedding dresses.
Oh, for sure.
Because there's so many places they could hide, because everywhere you go, there's a wedding dress in the basement. So we figured out there were kids, up in the attic. There were kids in the basement. Whether they were transferred from the attic to the basement, I don't know, but it was crazy. So something like that, it's not technically big enough for a Paracon. However, I think it would be absolutely fantastic for a small Paracon, to say the least, So, and this is in Washington, Iowa, which is in very southern Iowa. You're driving probably 5 hours through Iowa to get there, but it's a very beautiful venue. I love to do it there. It's small, but.
Well, and if you look at the time of year that you have it, you can do a lot of planning with outside stuff. You can do it depending on the size of the venue. You want to look at whether we're going to do it for 1 day or if we're going to do it for 2. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we can
see. The nice thing is, the nice thing is that doing the Paracon, there's a garage which has plenty of seating in, because there's like card tables and folding chairs in there. So that would be a nice thing to maybe have our supper there. And then have some vendors set up outside. It's a very Victorian feel at the venue. It's and the activity is, to say the least, crazy. There's plenty of activity there. So do the Paracon, have a supper, do an investigation, and have a few people stay. There's beds to sleep in. So it's nice, which I am in the midst of contacting the owner, because she actually contacted me to come out for the investigation. And we went out there for the Global Ghost Hunt of 2023. And it was fantastic. It was awesome. Our whole team loved it. Of course, I'm an attic junkie. The attic was pretty cool. But
that's really fun.
Right. See, and in another place would be the Boyd House here in Minnesota, but that is like way too small to be a Paracon venue, because it's basically just a house. It has 4 stories and everything, but it also itself has a very Victorian feel to it.
Right.
So,
Johnson, we can choose.
We just got to get together and buy the Rush City Inn there.
Yes. Oh, the what's it called?
I can't.
I don't remember. I can't think of the name either.
I can't. Yeah.
I can't think of that name. What is it?
Perfect. It's for sale.
It is for sale.
Palmer House, but it's not.
Yes, it's like the Palmer House Hotel, the most haunted hotel in Minnesota. But what was it called?
Yeah, I can't think of it right
Hold
now.
that thought. Hold that thought.
Usually
Oh,
they'll
see,
get-
I love when you have a good idea and something. I always wanted. That's something that John and I have talked about for the longest. We want to buy a
Mm.
venue, like a paranormal location. I've always wanted to buy a location and then have it just, so when we get ready to go ghost hunting, we can go, and then we could, share it with others. We could rent it out. We could, what? I mean, what would be more amazing than to have your own paranormal location?
Mm-hmm.
But then
And
again,
not to interrupt, but it's the Grant House Hotel.
Grant House. Yep, there we
Grant
go.
House.
I'm gonna have to look.
I had to
that
look
up.
it up. Sorry.
I can remember what it was before you even got it in.
See, I'm
so-
all about that. We try to find, like, I don't know. It seems like everything we buy anymore now is haunted.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy. I'm beginning, like the house that we have here. We found that there's some weird stuff. The house that we live in, there's some weird stuff going on in it. But I'm just like, you know what? I that's one thing I do not do. I do not investigate in my own house. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to talk to
Well,
you. I don't
yeah.
want to communicate with you. Just whatever you're doing, don't do it in my room.
You just
Leave
don't
my
know what the hell is there.
I know, right? I mean, we hear doors opening, lights turning on and off by themselves.
However,
Well,
you won't investigate there, but will you let others investigate there?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Oh yeah, come
I
in there,
just
open
know
up
that-
some portals,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We're gonna
Depends
open
on
a portal in each
invite
room.
some stuff in. Come on in, come live
It
here.
depends on who
we're-
it is.
2-for-1 special. We're gonna open up a portal in a mirror and put it on the ceiling over your bed.
oh,
My daughter blames it on some rocks I have in my house. See her favorite one?
Crystals.
No, some physical rocks that I have in the house. I will show you my bag of rocks. Let me put down my
I'm
phone.
looking for
Bag of rocks.
Bag of rocks.
Would it
No,
be
I've not
better?
had these in my hands yet. I'm not taking them out, but
Okay, first if you do.
there. I don't know if you can see these.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Ooh,
One
So
second.
this little purple rock right here, and he laughs. Hold on, I'm gonna put him back up there.
We're like yelling at you.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
pretty.
My little rock.
Yeah.
I know, and then I have two other ones, two small ones,
I have a
and
lot of crystals,
we've had an
so I get it.
uptick in activity. Well, these are special rocks. A friend of mine, Tracy, she's part of our group. She lives in a place called Peculiar, Missouri.
Okay.
And she went with, I don't know if you're familiar with Dave Schrader from
Oh yeah.
I'm good
the
friends with
Holzer
him.
Files.
Oh yeah.
Yes. She
investigated with
met
him.
with him and they went to Ireland together. Or she
Okay.
went over there and they went on a trip to Ireland and she did like a tour with him as the host of the tour. And they went to see a bunch of places in Ireland. And one of the places they went to was the Hellfire Club.
Mhm.
So the actual Hellfire Club. And she collects dirt
Step on.
from locations that she
No.
investigates, but she also collects rock stones, what have you. So those stones are actually from the floor of the original Hellfire Club in Ireland. So they may or may not be from the sacrificial floor where
Right.
people were sacrificed to the devil or Satan from the
Sure.
hell.
Yeah.
So since I brought them in, there has been a little uptick in activity in the house.
One.
But
They're embedded in the,
yeah,
The
I've not
activity is
gotten rid
better
of
than
them.
it.
I told my daughter, I said, I'm not getting rid of them. They're my rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, So, guys, I do want to apologize, but I do have to start making my way home. I'm very sorry. I'd love to continue the show with you guys, but Casey and Johnny, if you want to finish the show. Shasta,
we'll
I'm
keep this
sorry. I'd
party
love to
going.
talk some more.
Yeah, we'll take care
No,
of it.
that's okay. I'm here. Whatever you want to you guys want to do. I'm just chilling out.
Well, I will be totally looking forward to reaching out to you, talking some more, getting something scheduled up, and hopefully getting some plans for this Paracon going.
Definitely.
And we'll talk a little bit more on a bonus episode of Minnesota SpiritCast about the Paracon. We'll have to get me, you, Candy, our members together, everybody together, figure it out, get some things going. Give people a clue of what to expect. Since it's Iowa, I'm already wanting to sell ears of corn. I think that'd be kind of cool to do.
Oh,
Get a big
I'm right there
bucket
with
of
you.
butter.
Roasted corn. Oh man,
Mhm.
now you're talking.
Yep. Get a gigantic bucket of butter, take a cob of corn and dip it in there for people. $3 an ear of corn, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're like a beef stew or a chili, like in a long thing of bread. Take off the top and take out the center, and then put your chili or your beef stew in the thing, and oh yeah,
some good old Minnesota hot dish.
I'm like,
oh
I'm
God,
starving.
yeah.
I haven't had dinner yet.
So tater tot hot dish or what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What'd
man.
Some
tater tot hot
dish.
You got to say it in a Minnesota accent.
Oh, you're not getting that out of me. Come on now. Listen to this
you got the good. You got the. Oh, you should have heard me. Back in like 2016 when I first came up to Minnesota, because I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. So when I came up here to Minnesota, I'm full-blown Nashville Southern accent. So bad that where my nickname in school became Tennessee. So accents do change, but right now it's all the Minnesota.
Yeah, see, when I came up there, everybody just looked at me funny. That's like when we just came back from New Orleans, we were down there, and I had to have everybody repeat what they were saying, like they were speaking some other language, and they were speaking English. I'm like, what in the heck? And we were just
why will we look at you funny when we have Casey?
I'm not gonna say nothing right now, but
he said, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, guys. Well, unfortunately, I do need to hit the road, but I appreciate you coming on, Shasta, and you guys can continue the show if you want. But I do want to wish everybody a happy new year and hope your 2024 is just as good as your 2023, if not better. It feels like 2023 was just yesterday, though.
It went by so fast.
Right.
I don't even know. Like I lost a few months in there, I think, somewhere.
Right over the head.
Yep.
I don't want it to be like 23. 23 was
right.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. So we just gotta make the best of 24. So, but I do want to wish everybody happy New Year and all the holidays to come. We hope you guys all had a good Christmas as well.
Yeah.
But I will see you guys next week for hopefully a full show. Shasta, I'm sorry I got to dip out early, but I have to get home. I'm like 45 minutes from home. So, but I'd love to talk some more here in the future. So, and you're always welcome to come back on and talk some more.
Yeah, anytime Absolutely. You want me, just give me a shout.
Perfect. Well, Casey and Johnny, you guys want to continue on with the show, or we calling it?
Aye.
Yeah.
No, I'm ready to roll.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I will see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great night and a happy 2024. And we'll see you later. Happy hunting, guys. See you later.
Promise Raina night.
Yes, we'll do.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So now what kind of questions y'all have for me?
What's your most active place you've been to?
The most active place I've been to? Probably I would say like in any place or just in the state of Virginia?
Any place.
Waverly Hills.
Oh, that's a hot spot for me. I want to go there.
Yeah, Waverly Hills is probably, for whatever reason, Waverly Hills, I have a weird connection to Waverly Hills. I know that sounds strange, but
I have places where I'm drawn to too, so
yeah,
it's
Waverly
not
Hills.
that normal.
I am like super drawn to Waverly Hills. I always have been. Since the very first time I stepped foot in the place years ago. We took a overnight, but it was a group tour. And I always swore I'm coming back. I want to do a private tour. And we did, the group tour was like, I don't know, 30 or 40 people. And that was fun, but it's really hard in a place like that to have that many people because we're listening and we thought we heard humming. So we're like going through like this maze, and we were trying to find this humming. And we found a lady in the hallway humming, and she's like, "Oh, it brings the spirits." And I'm thinking, yeah, but it also brought me, and it messed up all my EVP work.
Right.
So, yeah. Several years later, we got an opportunity to go back, and we did a private investigation that night. So we had the building completely to ourselves. There was like 8 of us. And the things we caught in that building that night, I've never seen anywhere else. Like, we were on one of the upper floors, and we actually, Tina, the lady that owns it, was her and one other lady, and she had gotten downstairs. They radioed us back and let us know that they were back in the building, locked in. We were locked in so that they made sure that we were secure. Well, it's still daylight outside. And all you hear going down the stairs are hard boots, like running down the stairs. Wow. And we hadn't even started investigating yet. Like, if that's anything how the night's going to be. And we went straight to the stairwell. Yeah, there was nothing. Yeah, the place was crazy. So as we go through the night, just like different stuff. I mean, you'd stand in the doorway and you'd see shadows walking back and forth down the hall, but nobody would ever show up at the door. You'd never hear any steps, but you would see those shadows moving back and forth from room to room.
Yeah,
and then it was the most amazing thing. So then we saw this like flash of light, like a TV cut on, but there's no electricity in this building. So we go down to where the light was, and there's a bathroom. And it, when it rains, it has like all the windows are out, so there's water inside the building. There's a footprint on the floor, and you could tell it had to have been a fairly big dude. We had 2 guys with us. The only problem was this was a bare footprint. You could see the toes and the arc of the foot. And we called over and we asked Tina and the other lady, and we're like, is this normal? So she had to send the girl over to take pictures because they said it happens, but it's rare. And there's this gigantic wet footprint in the middle of the floor that comes out of the bathroom and kind of goes around. And there were a couple, and they went into a closet. Wow. And it was, I've never seen anything like it. But nobody in their right mind would take their shoes off in there. Plus, it was a better foot than either one of the guys that we were with. So, yeah, that building was quite interesting. And then the gentleman that was with us, he found an old hat hanging in the locker room, or a locker in one of the rooms. And he was going to put it on his head. And I'm like, don't put that nasty thing on your head. What are you doing? And we went back and listened to the EVP. And just as I'm yelling at him not to put it on, you hear a man come in the EVP. And he goes, no, screaming through the EVP. So obviously I was not the only other one upset about him putting on his hat.
Right. Yeah.
So that has to be my favorite location so far. That And the most
That's on my
active too.
top. That's
Sounds
on my
incredible.
top five places to go.
What's y'all's favorite location? Most active location?
Oh, mine so far would be Old Juliet Prison down in Illinois.
I've heard of the Juliet Prison.
I've been there, and if you're not used to walking, you're gonna hurt by the time you're done. 'Cause that place is massive. Even just the yard inside the building, in the complex is like 4 or 5 football fields in one spot, and it's like, holy crap! My calves were burning by the time I couldn't barely walk by the end of the night.
Oh no! See, and I have bad knees, which is really, unfortunately, has stopped me from doing a lot of the investigating that I really want to do because I have really bad knees that just aren't helping me. So I don't get to do stairs and the because a lot of the paranormal tours now they want you to rush so much. So I prefer to do private tours so I can take my time.
Yep.
You know, I've done
you get more,
prisons are
you get
fun,
more
but
evidence.
they're scary.
I was told I was crazy because I sat in the death row cell by myself for half hour straight with nobody in that area. I'm like, why? Well, if you want evidence, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
Hunt hard, yeah.
Well, I'm usually the one that gets told I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I will do some crazy things.
If you go there with good intent and not fear, you're really not gonna get,
Exactly.
If you go in with bad intent and your fear, they're gonna show it to you. They're gonna give it to you. If you go the opposite way, then
well, and that's why I said yesterday, you gotta have mind space, even to do even shows or investigating or whatever. You need to have your head in the right mind space to be able to do it. You don't want to go into it in the wrong mind frame or what have you. I mean, and I'm usually the one that does the crazy stuff. So let's like in Waverly Hills. I mean, I laid in the morgue bed. I went in the box.
I'd do something like that, but I'm claustrophobic, but I'd lay on it.
Well, it was open, so they didn't have beds in the other upper two. They only had like a wooden thing in the bottom. So even though it was tiny, it wasn't as claustrophobic because I am claustrophobic. But for whatever reason, in the dark, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, they're like, "Who's gonna get in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Yeah,
but yeah, that's the kind of crazy stuff I would do.
Yeah.
So what about you, Johnny? I have not heard you talk.
Oh, I don't have a ton of experience yet with actually going to places. So I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Yeah.
So how long have you been investigating?
Oh, 6 months now.
Sorry, I have a gnat. It's driving me nuts.
Most of my experience now has been making hardware, putting stuff together. I'm kind of a gearhead, bit of a tech geek on the side of stuff.
But that's good though.
My obligatory I make REM pods, custom kind of idiot. They're idiot proof and they're klutz proof. I call it investigation rugged. And I don't know. Do you guys have a REM pod for what you do?
We do. I have a REM pod that I invested in a while back. But you know what? We put it out, but we don't use the REM pod nearly as much as we use the little cat balls, the little cat toys. We use those almost every investigation. And my favorite thing is a mag light. That's one of the easiest things. I carry my mag light, a couple of cat toys, and this thing that a friend of mine showed me called the Phasma box. But I'll tell you what, that thing, if I hadn't seen it work, I don't put a lot of faith in online apps,
Right.
but I've seen them work before, and I'm like, let me try it out. So a friend of mine was using it, and he showed it to us when we were on an investigation. So I tried it out. We were in a location in the woods, and I'm like, well, if I knew the address, then I could, figure out where we were. I could see if I could pull it up. So I knew the road we were on, but I didn't know the physical address, like the street number. And all of a sudden, this woman comes across the Phasma box and gives me a set of numbers. I plugged those numbers in to the address with the street name. Well, with the street name, and believe it or not, it pulled up pictures of the location we were sitting in.
Oh wow!
Lovely.
It also, this guy was like flipping out because people had went in and vandalized the property, and this thing called him out and told him to calm down. He had went upstairs and found a piece of china. The same female comes through this Phasma box, and he says, well, what, Miss So-and-so, do you want me to do with this piece of china? And she told him through the Phasma box, put it in the cabinet. And I'm like, put it in the cabinet. There's no cabinet in here. But in the kitchen, there was a space that used to be a cabinet. It just had all the shelves out of it.
Wow.
And he took it and put it in the kitchen. So if I hadn't seen this piece of equipment work, I would not believe in apps. But I've had this thing and we've used it several times. And it's so spot on that it's really weird how easy. But it's just like a manipulation thing. They're able to manipulate it, and it's used with a tablet. So I don't know if it's the app or if it's just the easy way for them to manipulate the speaker.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know, but it really floored me. And I have to try and see it and believe it that way. I'm a seer before I'm going to believe it.
Yeah.
But
my favorite piece of equipment is a millimeter.
An ovulus?
A millimeter.
Oh, the millimeter. No, that we don't have.
Yeah, it works wonders with for me. I think
my cousin has one.
I get good evidence with that. You've seen that happen, Johnny, that one of the investigations that we're at, and it was pretty accurate responses. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so we kind of go back and forth. The equipment that we have, he has something different. I think he's got, I used to have, what is it, the SLS camera?
Yeah.
So we sold that. My cousin took that. He's got the SLS camera. I found myself not using it as much because, like I said, I would go with more of like the Phasma box app where I'm using the speaker, K2s. I have a set of dowsing rods, which I can't use. Somehow every time I try to use those, they just turn around and point back at me. So I think maybe I'm defective. I don't know. I cannot get them to work at all. So I'll usually let my daughter have those, or somebody will just, put them up for somebody in the group. But I have an old K2. I'll take that with me. But, it comes down to pretty much the best equipment that we use, or the most equipment, is the little cat toys and a flashlight. And the flashlight we get more evidence with the little tiny mag lights than anything else we've had. I see everybody using all kinds of new equipment. Like they have these boxes where not the SB7s, because those things are so loud.
Yeah.
The ones where they try to hook up and you talk through with the white noise. But the ones where they have, and it's really like a portal. Right. Those portal boxes that they use, those are really cool. But I'm like, I can't invest $300, $400, $500 in something, and I don't know if it really works.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need to build something.
Yeah, Johnny, see, that's what we can work on.
Yeah. I like how you said about investing in hardware.
Yeah.
The first investigation I went on with these folks, hey, is that a REM pod? Oh, yeah, be careful with that. That was $180. Whoa, what?
Yeah.
$70.
Mine was more expensive than that when I bought it.
I make them myself specifically to be inexpensive and way more rugged than what's available on the market.
Yeah, when I first bought mine was when they had first come out with REM pods, and they were way more expensive than $180.
Yeah,
and I still have the
Amazon.
same one. I think they were going for $2 something when they first started selling them.
Ooh.
And mine was way more expensive than yeah. So mine was like
Yeah.
$2 something, but I've had it for several years. Like when they first started coming out big. But you know what? The people on TV, they don't really use that stuff. When they investigate, what they show on TV is somewhat how they investigate, but they don't use all that stuff. When those people investigate in real life, they're not using all that stuff. I mean, they use some of the new technology, but a lot of the stuff is old school stuff that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been lucky enough to have investigated or have met and worked with almost everybody from TV. Except for Zach.
I've met almost everybody. The only ones I've investigated with is Shane and Dave. Shane Pittman and Dave Trader from the Holder Files. Those are the only two that I've actually investigated with.
Yeah, no, I've not met Shane or Dave. They're the only ones that I've not met, and Cindy. But
I'm not meeting Cindy.
Yeah, I've met Amy Allen was the first one to explain to me what was going on with my daughter and rocks, believe it or not. Because my daughter used to pick up rocks everywhere when she was little. And when I met Amy Allen was the first one to explain to me the significance of a rock for my daughter and why she picks up rocks. And why she will go through 10,000 rocks to pick up one. And that one is protection for her. And that took a big move for me. Her and Kim Russo. Kim Russo is, explained a lot of stuff.
I want to meet Kim.
She is remarkable. Like I've seen her work, and then she pulled us to the side, not knowing who we were, and gave my mom a reading just because the night before, I think my father was trying to come through but didn't because he didn't like crowds. And then the next day we met her to get her autograph, and she said things that there is absolutely no way. Like she told my mother what my father passed of on his death certificate.
Oh, geez.
And how my father used to sit and read the newspaper and how he looked when he read the newspaper. And I'm thinking, there's no way this woman knows any of this because I've never seen her before.
Right.
So the things that she was coming up with were just unreal. So she's pretty incredible. But I've had the opportunity to work with and investigate with Amy and Adam Berry from
I met them.
the Spirit. What are there's this
Kindred Spirits.
Kindred Spirits.
And Ghost Hunters too. There with them.
Yeah. Then Steve and Tango from Ghost Hunters. They're so funny. They're so funny when you get them together, like to investigate.
Yeah.
Gosh, the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. I've investigated with them multiple times.
Yep, I met almost every one of them except for Ghost Adventures. I met every other one though. So far.
A
Yeah.
lot of names.
Oh gosh, and
cool
Ghost
sounding folk.
Yeah, they're so. It's really funny though because they've been in places where they've been in some of the instances they've been here in Virginia where I've been, but I've also been to Paracon in Scarefest in Kentucky. I don't know if y'all have ever been, but
I haven't been up there, but
yeah, Scarefest is like a big Paracon they have every year, and they have all kinds of people from everything, from wrestling to paranormal shows to all that stuff. So they do have they used to have an investigation. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have an investigation where you could go and join the investigation there. But there was another group that I used to go and hang with and work with them, and I would help volunteer. And that's where I met some of them and investigated with, like Chip Coffee. And
I met him. I met him too.
Yeah, he's really cool too. He's such a sweet guy. And the Ghost Brothers, man, that is, if you ever want an investigation, the Ghost Brothers are probably the funniest investigations I've ever been on.
I met them too, and actually, I reached out to Marcus, and Marcus is also, Ghost Brothers Marcus, not Marcus, but he's actually agreed to be on our podcast as well.
They are so funny.
Yeah,
if you spend more time laughing than you do investigating.
Yeah,
I mean,
I met them at the Michigan Paracon.
Yeah, they're hilarious. My next goal is I want to meet the guys from Destiny here.
Yes.
Have you met them already?
Yep.
I want to meet those guys. Those kids are so amazing.
3 times.
Oh my gosh. Are they as funny and as friendly as what they act on? See, I want to meet them so bad.
You gotta go to
They're
the
hilarious.
Paracon. Go to the Michigan Paracon, you'll meet them. They're always there.
They're they're from Michigan, aren't they?
No, Minnesota, I believe.
Is it Minnesota? I know that they're originally from up there, and then they are in Vegas.
Yep. I
did not know that.
Yeah, they I think the girl still lives up north, and then the guys all live out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because I want to get out to Vegas. I want to get out and see the Zach Bagans Museum. He's got a lot of stuff in there I want to see.
I've been in there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there I want to see.
Just unfortunately, I was not able to see him, but I was there.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see him. Did I say that out loud on air? No. Yeah, I'm good with just seeing the stuff in there.
Yeah. I
know he's got a lot of cool cars.
I like to meet him just to say I met him,
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I don't mind some of the other guys that's with him. But as long as he just acquired some stuff that I've seen. Yeah. Like he just got a new exorcism box and a new diary. The exorcism box. Have you ever seen the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
That movie was based on a true story, The Exorcism of Annalise McKell, I think is what the girl's name was. Okay, the box that was used in her exorcism was actually belonged to the Booth brothers. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Booth brothers produced films for Sony, Sci-Fi, all kinds of different places.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the exorcism box that they used in that exorcism, plus the original diary and the journal. I think something else to do with is it Ronald Doe? Is that the name of the?
I wouldn't know.
Something to do with the original Exorcist. Something to do with that, and the diary for that. But that was just purchased by Zach Bagans and put in his museum.
Wow.
Because they did a film called The Attached, and it's got like 4 or 5 short stories, and those were a couple of the things that were in there. One of them was shot in St. Albans, and it was about a young lady that was sent to St. Albans here in Virginia, and they don't know if she was dropped there and was pregnant when she got there, or if she got pregnant when she was dropped there. And she after she was dropped there, and she lost the baby, but she kept it in a jar and hid it in the closet. And they ratted her out, the other people on the floor, and she committed suicide.
Wow.
And they took the baby from her. She would get it every night out of the closet and rock it. And because it was a mental institution, she hung herself.
Wow.
And that was one of the stories that they told in there. And she actually comes back, and they have gotten EVPs and contacted her in the building still.
Wow.
So she's one of the spirits that they make connection with on the upper floor in the attic of St. Albans. Yeah, it's very interesting. They got a lot of really good footage. They actually have a piece of footage in there of the SLS camera, and it shows a taller figure on the SLS camera, and it has it's putting a smaller figure, and it looks like it's putting it into the cubby hole in the closet on the SLS camera.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
I love historical places.
Hi. It was nice to meet you, but I've got to run.
Well, you too. Actually, it is getting late. It's like 10 o'clock here. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but
almost 9.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to get this child in bed. I think tomorrow is the first day of school again.
Oh, fun.
I know, right? After winter break.
Yeah, it's
I'm glad I don't
bedtime.
have to worry about that.
I know. Well, I did a lot of talking.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
No, it makes it easy for us. We do. Keep going. Yeah. Makes our job a lot easier.
Sometimes I talk too much, so I don't know. But I love the paranormal, so
we do too.
Absolutely.
It's just it's fun to be able to actually talk paranormal with people that are interested and enjoy paranormal as much, because I don't get that. My husband doesn't like for me to chat about it, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel you.
All right. Well, you have a good night and take care.
Thank you. And like I said, hopefully we'll all be able to get out that way and get something together, and maybe doing an investigation later in 2024. We can set up something central and we can all meet together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you for having me on. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Many times.
Bye.
Take care.